is a continent rich in natural resources, none of which are more valuable than its men and women. Every day, millions of Africans see their daily lives changing thanks to the African Development Fund. Somewhere deep in one of the biggest forests in the world, Paul, an indigenous pygmy close to nature, sees his future taking off. On the other side of the continent, Maria will soon have drinking water at home, changing her life. In West Africa, Joseph watches his rice fields flourish, proud to be able to offer his family a better life. And soon, in an East African village, Lucy will no longer have to study by candlelight. Billions of dollars donated or loaned have saved and transformed millions of lives. Here are just 4 of these stories. First up, Kenya. Here, the Menengai geothermal project will make up for the lack of electricity that affects half of the country's population. Over $500 million have been invested by the African Development Bank and its partners to bring electricity to 500,000 homes and 300,000 businesses. Clean, affordable, sustainable energy. In a few months' time, Lucy, a 14-year-old schoolgirl, will no longer have to help her mother chop wood for cooking or heating in the evenings. The home will no longer be lit by a dangerous kerosene lamp.
If you have electricity, it could be easy. Same to our siblings. It can help my mom when cooking.
Lucy and her brothers can study at home, at night, and at school.
The impact is that since they had the interest to learn as early as that time, but they are not able to access because of lack of lights, the performance of the class goes down. They are not able to learn very well because they just learn for a few hours because they do not have access to light.
Benin is one of the 7 West African countries that since 2010 has benefited from the hybrid rice project Nerica, New Rice for Africa. 20 varieties of this rice were perfected in the laboratories of the Africa Rice Center in Cotonou, adapting them to areas affected by varying degrees of climate change. Farmers are able to harvest sooner, every 3 or so months. It has a higher yield, is better tasting and nutritious. It is estimated that 241,000 farming families have tripled their incomes. This new Rice for Africa also contributes to food security as it requires less water and can be sold all year round at an affordable price. Joseph, 51 years old, is one of the 15-member farming group. Thanks to Nerica, his children are able to go to school and their living conditions are greatly improved.
We use the Nerica 14 and Nerica 20 varieties. We live on the sale of this rice and have been able to buy land and build our houses. If the yield wasn't good, we wouldn't plant Nerica.
In Mozambique, the lives of 250,000 people in the towns of Kumba and Lishenga are set to change. $27.7 million have been invested to improve their access to drinking water. Modern water supply and sanitation systems and services will ensure that clean, good quality water is continuously available. Cholera and dysentery will become diseases of the past, while 150,000 people will have access to water that costs 12 times less than before. It can't flow too soon for 58-year-old housewife Maria. She gets up at 6 each morning to walk 2 kilometers to fetch 8 liters of water, the first of 3 daily trips. The situation is really difficult for us here. We have to walk long distances to fetch water. It can take up to an hour to walk to the public water point on very rough roads that are difficult to negotiate. The lack of water has had dramatic consequences for our village. When we have access to water here, everything will change. I'll be able to wash the clothes and give the children a bath. Doing the dishes and the housework and cleaning the school will be easy. It will bring so many advantages for us, and the idea makes me very happy. In northern Congo, not far from Weso, a new 504-kilometer road is being built on the border with Cameroon. By the year 2020, Yaoundé and Brazzaville will be linked. This road will benefit 500,000 people in Congo and another 100,000 in Cameroon. It will open up this landlocked region to potentially lucrative opportunities in agriculture, tourism, and mining. Local indigenous pygmies like Paul, who live in the forest, are changing the way they work whilst maintaining their traditional role as guardians of nature.
I have to cut down a few trees to make a cassava field.
Growing cassava and other crops has led them to form a farming group and to sell their produce to passing trade on the road.
When the road was built, we formed this association because before the road, we earned no money. We hunted, but as there was no traffic, we never sold anything. It was for our personal consumption. Now, thanks to the road, we can sell our hunting, fishing, and farming products and make money to build houses and furnish them. This passing trade brings an income so we can prepare for our future and that of our children.
Electrification, food security, integration, industrialization, and improving lives. 5 priorities that will unleash the potential of Africa.